Head to Safeway this week and go straight to the deli for these amazing $5 deals all week long for members. Chicken tenders original or Nashville hot, macaroni and cheese, JoJo potato wedges, chicken nuggets 20 count, all-American footlong sandwich, made fresh daily and Reese's, American Classics original potato or macaroni salad, 48-ounce serving size, all for just $5 each. That's right, just $5 each. Visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.
I am so honored to be in Yachtley Crew. Today is July 31st, 2025. I am so honored to be in this band because I've gotten the opportunity to meet people, meet old friends, meet new friends, family, all over the states of America. Today, we are in Montana on our way. Yachtley Crew is playing the Seize the Night tour in honor of our new album, Seize the Night, on Earache Records. And I had the opportunity, last episode you heard of Inspirado Projecto. This is CEC, your host, by the way. Last episode of Inspirado Projecto you heard took place at the Big Blue Birthday Bash with the Tick, and I told you I'd be interviewing Eli Five Stone, one of the core collaborators, along with Isaiah Ferguson. I believe that was September 10th. That was the 30-year anniversary of the Tick animated series. And Eli Five Stone also animated a short film that appeared there. I'll be putting that link in the description along with Eli Five Stone's website. So I got a chance to interview him while I was out in, was it Cohasset? Yeah, I think it was Cohasset, Massachusetts, where we played at the South Shore Music Circus. I think that's the one. Unless he showed up to the Melody Tent in Hyannis, Maryland. Jeez. I'll get it better. I'll let you know. We'll have a break and I'll let you know. So I got a chance to hang out with Eli Five Stone. He came out to see the show out there, and what you were about to hear here is what occurred. Now I want to let you know of something here. When Ben Edlund left the Tick at issue 12, he went to go work on the animated show. During that time, Eli had gone to New England Comics, and those were the guys who were putting out the Tick comic book at the time. Eli printed up a bunch of copies of his own comic book to try to sell them to the comic shop. And it turns out that at that time, Ben Edlund was looking for, basically someone who was a writer, an artist, someone who appreciates the Tick and can continue to, create a series. And that series is called The Big Blue Destiny. So I'm going to read this to you. I'm on something called ForbiddenPlanet.com. I'm reading up about the Big Blue Destiny. I just want to precede this conversation we're about to have, just so you can kind of get an idea of the history of this guy. So now remember, Ben Edlund did 12 issues of the Tick. What they have here offered on the website, it's called the Tick Big Blue Destiny, The Complete Works. It's got 16 pages added. It is 336 pages, and it is 11 comics. So imagine that. Ben Edlund made 12 of the original Tick. Eli Five Stone continued this legacy for another 11 issues. What an interesting thing to think about. So this is the description, product description. At 320 pages, all 11 complete comics of the legendary Tick series Big Blue Destiny, with story and art by Eli Five Stone, the most popular Tick creator after Ben Edlund. This massive tome includes all 5 issues of Big Blue Destiny, as well as the Tick's back number 0, the Tick Big Blue Destiny Ash Can Edition, and the entire Tick Looney Bin trilogy. In the course of these outrageous adventures, Big Blue Destiny, with Ben's approval, examined many mysterious secrets in the Tick's background and history. Imagine being given this amazing project that has already gained so much momentum, so many loyal readers, cult-like following, and now it goes, here you go. I'm handing it to you. It's like the Olympics torch. Go ahead and run. You'll hear Eli talk about this. I am going to interview him again. He's got so many things to talk about. One of which is his new project, Brick Manigan. He has sent me like a demo of what he's done so far. I think it's phenomenal. You'll hear him talk about this. Keep your ears and eyes peeled, because I want to be able to help him out with this new project as much as possible, and I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Anyway, without further ado, here is Eli Fivestone. P.S. I just learned this was July 20th in Hyannis, Massachusetts at the Melody Tent. All right, those are the facts.
Hi,
I'm here with Eli Fivestone.
I'd like to welcome you to my podcast.
He's welcoming me to his podcast.
Yeah, I'd like it. This is the Stonecast. I'd like it.
That's good.
The Five Stone.
And this is where he was born.
Welcome to the Five Stonecast. I'm Eli Fivestone.
Dude.
It's a balmy day at Cape Cod. We're here at the Melody Tent.
Yes.
With Kurt Yachtley of Yachtley Crew.
That's right.
Also known as Stony Shores.
Oh my gosh. I love your show. I love your show on NPR, by the way.
Sweaty balls. Yeah, no, Brick Manigan, Brick is, he's entirely, he has no self-awareness.
He seems like just like a big kid who's just, like someone who, let's say you have this carefully prepared garden, and just one of those just rowdy kids that is totally unaware that he's just stomping all over this stuff. Is he kind of like a bull in a china shop?
He would go as far as to purposely stomp on it.
You purposely do it.
In the name of justice. He would figure out a reason to stomp on it. He's a kick the sandcastle over guy, He's a tool. He's a bad person. So writing a terrible person and making them likable and making you just not want, especially in today's much more sensitive climate than when I grew up, is very, very difficult.
So when you're writing
and it
this,
might be poorly received.
Well, are you imagining, I'm imagining in my brain Patrick Warburton, because as you talk about him possibly being a good, just kind of being deadpan with his delivery of Brick Manigan, is he kind of in your brain as you're writing this? Like
100%,
as if you,
yes.
Because a lot of great writers do that.
He is the litmus test. So I don't necessarily picture him doing the voice. I mean, just getting the guy would be next to impossible. I've met him. He would never remember me, though. But his cadence, his delivery, if he couldn't say it, I don't want it in the book.
Yeah.
He is the litmus test. So if I can say it, if I can say the Brick Manigan line through a Patrick Warburton voice, and we all know him as
was it Emperor's Tale?
Emperor's New Groove. And
Emperor's New Groove.
Everybody knows his voice. I don't really do a Warburton, but...
Well, I thought he did great delivery as the live-action Tick.
Yeah.
Yes, I was disgruntled
Absolutely.
that they showed his face. I mean, I'm a purist when it comes to...
Actually, so was I, in a bit.
Just give him the whited-out eyes.
Well, so I happened to actually live in L.A. at that time, and I was neighbors with Ben Edlund, the creator, and with Chris McCulloch, Jackson Public, who was also working on the show.
You were neighbors of all both of those dudes?
Yeah, we all lived in Venice together.
Incredible.
We were all right up the road from one another. American Maid was Chris's girlfriend at the time.
Incredible.
And she lived on the Venice canals because she made, decent money as an actor. And I don't know if you've ever seen the canals, but it's beautiful there, right? It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, when she would go away, she would have me go over and babysit her dog, or her cats. And, her dog. And, I just got to hang out in the canals in this gorgeous house with movie stars, going up and down the canals. It's really cool.
Incredible.
Yeah,
what a great character study.
Yeah, it was really neat. Oh, so anyway, how did I get on there? I was talking about Ben Chris.
Oh, Brick Manigan, Patrick Warburton.
And I happened to be there at that time. And that, believe it or not, it was due to meeting Patrick Warburton on the set. He wasn't in costume or anything. We were just talking. And he was like a TV character come to life. He is what you see on TV. In person, he's the same guy. He's like everybody's dad or uncle. Or,
oh, my God.
Yeah.
He seems like a real-life cartoon character.
I said, he plays such likable guys. I would love to write a part for him that was like really just nasty and kind of brutish and mean. So, here's 22 years later, I'm still writing Patrick Warburton, right? So if I could ever get him to do the voice, that would be incredible.
Stranger things happen. That's the crazy thing. We never know what our future selves are doing. Well, and I have to just keep reminding myself, anytime I'm finding myself in a very, like, how did I get in this situation? I have to remember that there was that version of me long ago that didn't know about this.
I would like to know how you got in this situation, because you, it might be interesting for the listener to know, barely made it here, right?
Yeah.
And you missed your last show. Is that correct?
Right. We did.
Tell me about that.
Oh, geez, man. Well, it's a long story concerning the ups and downs, peaks and valleys of the various buses and the journey with the planes, trains, and automobiles we've taken thus far. We've had three times the bus broke down.
Spoiler alert, they didn't Google, is this a good bus company?
Well, and that's the thing. At the top of the list, this bus company, says, this owner is a scam. Oh, my gosh. This man and his wife, they're scam artists, and they promise the one thing, they deliver a different thing. I mean...
So where were you supposed to be last night?
I think last night we were
supposed to be
in Delaware. You were texting me like,
I'm supposed to be on stage right now.
I think we're supposed to be in Delaware.
Right.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be on stage right now. We were in a parking lot getting a limo, which the only other time I drove in a limo was in prom.
So you sent me a picture of you getting into a limo, and that was like 9 miles long. So how do you go from a broke dick bus to the coolest oatmeal-colored limo?
Oh, and we were so fortunate, too, because it was kind of like Tron in there. They had these like really cool blinking lights. The whole ceiling was a mirror.
Oh, it was like a prostitute limo.
It sounded like, I'm like, wait a second, I might know what goes on in here. Right. And then there were like these bottles that you could put your own bourbon in or whatever. There were glasses. And then Sailor Hawkins goes, hey, anybody want some wine? And we go, yeah, there are glasses here. We need a wine after this crazy day. But the bus kept breaking down, and we had to keep doing all these different things. The air conditioner went, and then at one point, it couldn't carry the trailer. So after we had left San Diego...
Wait, so does the bus pull your gear? Is that what you mean?
That's the whole idea, is that the bus is supposed to, under the bays, you put the luggage and different stuff, and then it carries the trailer, which has all the equipment. Not only was the trailer was...
So
a quarter of the size.
You have a full-on driving home, and then you have a hitch behind it?
Yeah.
How much of it, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I am curious, how much of an actual, living space do you have on your bus? Can you sleep there? Do you sleep in shifts?
12 bunks, so we sleep in three bunks high.
Wow.
And so I always just think of it as like we're in a rocket, and we're in those cryogenic chambers.
Sure.
That's what I frequently think about. And you pull the little curtain closed, and it's like those blackout curtains.
You are kind of a xenomorph.
Jeez, man.
I've always said that about you.
It's crazy. What is xenomorph? I love that. I love that. Extraterrestrial in nature?
Yeah, well,
yes, please.
That's the alien in Aliens.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yes. Oh, the face huggers.
Yes. Yeah, that's the morph part.
I love it. Yes.
Oh, hey.
Dude, I love it.
So, check this out. This is fun.
Yeah.
I brought this just because...
He's got a magical satchel.
So,
Dude!
Yeah.
What? You printed it up?
This is not... So, the actual title of the book...
Good.
So, what I did here is I brought a rough cut of the book that I have on Amazon. It is technically for sale, but nobody wants to buy an unedited, half-finished book. So, the title of the book is Brick Manigan Public Dick. And this is unfinished, so I just called it Brick Manigan. A lot of dick. Yeah, it's a lot of dick jokes.
It's great. Dude, how many pages is this total?
Surprisingly few dick jokes in here, considering it's all. How many? This is, let's see, this is 248.
Dude.
And that's unfinished. So it'll be like 350 pages or something.
How long did it take for you to write that?
Oh, forever. But it's really hard to say in actual writing time. I don't know, because I'm a father and I have a job. So that takes up a lot of time. So I've been working on this, actively writing, for 2.5 years, I'd say. But that's one day a week.
Right, so you don't know if you were to condense it down, right?
Yeah, and I'm not really
be.
good at jumping in and out of the world. I think a lot of decent writers can just sit down and say, oh, now it's time to be in, my horror land, and I'll pick right back up in this little town in Maine or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I have to, really get in this comedy mood. I have to live in it takes place during a heat wave. I have to feel hot.
Oh!
It sounds all...
No, this is great.
But I really have to sort of get into it.
Yeah.
And I have found that listening to a certain song can kick it.
Oh,
it
good,
can help
good.
me a lot. Like, so Brick is a very
Good.
aggressive guy, and I'm not particularly, I'm not having a aggressive thought at that moment. So I put on this song, and it's just like really, really awful, raunchy, aggressive. It's AI created.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, by accident, totally. I was trying to make a bad rap song, and it turned out like a bad Limp Bizkit song.
Oh, my God,
yeah,
that's
so
great.
It's like shitty rock.
Dude,
It's
this
really
is great.
over-the-top, aggressive rock.
Oh, this is
The prompt
great.
was like African-American low male voice rap, and it's just nothing like that. It sounds like the shittiest white band, and I love it. It's like a really motivational
So you're
song.
creating. It's great because you're creating your own soundtrack for what you're doing. Because a lot of people will write that way. They'll hear a song and they go,
Right.
"Ooh, I got a scene that's."
And the strangest thing
sprouting."
is, this is not anything I can use in the final audiobook. It's just inspiration. So I have to admit that AI has helped me to write without
It's
me
great.
even knowing it. You also helped me because the music that you sent me, I didn't know how that was created.
Oh my gosh, it's
I just
incredible.
accepted it as a gift from a friend. And whether I ever were to use it or not, it was highly motivational. It gave me hope that I could actually achieve something that big by myself. Now, whether or not I actually use AI for any of this, the audiobook is a really, really tricky. I feel like if I don't, I'm going to be the only one by next year who isn't.
Mm-hmm,
I feel like if I do, any artist is going to call me a traitor. And they'd be right, except at some point, everybody's going to be doing it. Nobody's going to be a traitor, or everybody is. Or,
Yeah, well, and that
we
brings
all drink
up
out of plastic bottles when we're not, we know that doesn't go anywhere.
and every great artist has evolved with the new tools that have
Right.
come about. That's being on that's surfing the forefront of.
And I have asked
the fringe.
Right, and I've asked various because I want music for this audiobook. I want it to be a fully immersive radio play, really, with a narrator. And music, that's a lot to ask of like a minimum of 3 people for several hours of stings and background and all that. So AI is a very plausible potential answer. However, I would like to employ artists, actual musicians, And so I've asked musicians, how do you feel about it? You don't seem to have a problem with it. You are a musician. I've asked other musicians who said that is as much stealing as when you see AI art, quote unquote, imagery. That's stolen from you.
Everyone's got their particular perspectives, but they're never the one who has to sit in your seat. And they're not
Right.
the one who has to fund things through your vessel, so to speak. So you just have to just do the best you can with what you got. And I think when you grab that dragon by the tail and that creativity is inspiring you right then and there, and you go, okay, this is the closest thing I can use. I don't have the real thing, but this is the closest thing I use. Now you can keep that momentum going. Because if you put on the brakes, you and I both know, sometimes it's harder to get up off the chair each time than jump in there.
There is a potential sweet middle ground where I posed this question to one other person, and he said, and I haven't investigated this, as of late July 2025, I've heard that there are people musicians who post their stuff on YouTube and will, in exchange for credit and use on their reel, let you use like background tracks and stuff like that. So,
And that's an extraordinary idea.
That would-
If
well,
they
I like
can
to
do
barter.
that, bartering is the key because
Yeah.
it's so interesting. Because something, I think we talked about this before about how why would I? Okay, so you value your thing as a particular thing. I value my thing as a specific thing. Who is the draw 4 wild card in that situation? You know what I mean? It's like, wait. If I can value you've spent all this time making this apple farm, planting all these trees, you got the apple farm. I really want some of those apples. I'm hungry, or maybe I want to make a pie, who knows what. And then you're like, well, you know what? I sure could use some wood. And, it's like, okay, I went out there and I chopped all this stuff down. Okay, well, how about we change? Let's barter. I usually sell this at the market for this much. And you're like, well, I usually sell that at that much. But it's very important to realize that each of us have put our due diligence in what we're creating. And I think it's a great wash when you can barter.
So via this beautiful story about the orchard, you're trying to tell me about bartering.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I know how it works.
Yeah.
You trade a thing for a
I
thing.
mean, it's great, but it's nice, right? But it's that idea of going, well, no, my thing over here is worth more than your thing. So you have to kind of find that common ground and go, oh, okay, that's what you value.
Well, it's funny you should say. I find the word valuation fascinating. What the value people place on a thing. Is so much is psychological.
Yeah.
For the most part,
It is psychological.
I have another thing here. So this is in case. Oh, wait, do I? Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, here.
So this just exists as...
This is literally available online. Like, you can buy it on Amazon. It's unedited and unfinished. So it's really, this is just a dummy copy to see. I have never published anything before, so I wanted to see how Amazon did. And actually, I think it looks great.
I think it looks great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to pause this edition of Inspirado Projecto because of an emergency broadcast system. Inspirado Projecto.
You could actually, I mean, so all this takes is some adding to it and some more editing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I need to get it professionally edited, which you might think that you know how to write and you know the way grammar works, but I hired, I did a demonstration. I had a couple of editors demonstrate their services to me in real time, and I was stunned at how much work they were doing, like writing, rewriting, suggesting all this stuff, and not changing
like grammar and everything.
Yes, and grammar and proper syntax, all of that, and I was watching because it was in a shared Google Doc, so I could see them in real time, and they were putting in a lot of effort.
Interesting.
So it's a flat fee, and for the number of pages I've got, I think it's very worth it. So
that's awesome.
So that's why I'm making those posters that I showed you earlier to try to finance that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think I've heard people say to me, and if anyone listening doesn't know, I used to write and draw The Tick after the creator of The Tick left to do the cartoon show, and people even now ask me, it must be nice to have some of that Tick money. But I would say of any job I've ever done besides outright theft, that's probably the least money I've ever made. It's wonderful clout. It's gotten my name around. It's great to know that even right now there's somebody in another part of the world giggling at a bad joke I wrote when I was 25. But it was just a job. It was a gig for hire,
Because he left at issue 12, is that what it was?
Yeah.
So I was reading about this on your website, and I thought this was so cool that you had printed up a bunch of your own comic books, and you're going to the comic shop, and I saw some of that art, and it looks just awesome, dude. No wonder why they decided to hire you for The Tick.
That's very flattering, but I try to bury that thing. That's
the thing. You have to go through that evolution, and you have to be. You can't be embarrassed by it, because that version, you only knew what he knew at that time. He knew it.
Yeah, well, and I didn't even really want to be a storyteller at that point. That was just I had just a panic disorder had manifested. So I want to say came down with, but I don't know how to phrase. You don't come down with it. It's not. I don't know.
It kind of visited you suddenly.
Yeah, it came. Yeah, it manifested itself in me when I was 24, and I felt like I was sort of disappearing from the world. So I just started drawing to make kind of a visual record that Eli was here. It started to get difficult to go outside. I was getting agoraphobic, etc. So I just made a comic for. Just to sort of prove that I was still alive, something that I could do inside of an apartment. And then I ended up having 200 copies of it because 200 is as much as 20, because of volume. Oh. And so at that point I was pretty broke, so I just tried to sell them in consignment at various stores, and New England Comics was one of the stores.
Fantastic.
And a guy who... I also used to be a musician. I used to play bass and sing. So a guy that my band opened for his band, Wargasm. My band, Mother, opened for his band, Wargasm.
Incredible.
Years prior. And he was the manager of that store. And he said, oh, yeah, I remember. You're the bass player who opened for us. Can I send this to the editor? And I was like, sure, whatever, And, and then I kind of just bluffed my way into the rest of it. They needed a writer, penciler, inker, and they wanted a quote-unquote personality. They wanted somebody they could send to conventions, you know what I mean? So I just said yes to everything like I always do.
I love it.
Yeah.
What kind of interesting...
Aren't you wondering what that album...
Ask the Amazing Karnak, dude. I love it. So I remember he goes... Sis bam boom, and then he opens it up and he goes
or sis boom ba.
Sis boom ba. Yeah. Sis boom ba.
Yeah.
What does the sound of a hamster make when it explodes or something?
Should I open this now? Yeah. So for anyone who's listening, I've given Kurt an envelope.
Oh my god!
And it's an envelope to be opened in times of lulls.
Oh my god! I love this.
Should I not open this?
When we're having
a conversational lull.
I see. Oh, during the
or
lull.
when you just want to inject a little
Oh my
fun
God, this is good.
into
Okay,
the-
well, let's
yeah.
see. Okay, so here,
We could
Science Bomb.
Science bomb. Well, you got to open it up.
Oh, I have to open it up.
That's
I got
a big
you.
one. This is a big revelation.
The ugly truth about multitasking. The way 5
season.
sees it.
Yeah.
The way Eli 5 sees it.
Yes.
The ugly truth about multitasking and the way Eli 5 sees it.
I had a
So tell me,
grand
how did you-
realization about multitasking. And this is some
tell
serious,
me
this
about
is
this.
like some DeGrasse
These
Tyson
are
level
brilliant ideas.
science right here.
Yes.
This is some big, get ready. Are you wearing socks?
I
Soon?
actually am. I prepared
Okay.
for this moment.
All right. Do you have a spare? Because they're about to be knocked off. Okay.
Yeah.
So, scientifically speaking, one cannot multitask, right? The brain cannot do more than one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So we fool ourselves into doing two things at once, but really we're taking turns at each thing and doing each one more poorly than if we had concentrated on the one and then on the other. So multitasking, myth, science bomb. So another thing that people talk about is texting on the toilet, right? But guess what? And then, they might make a mockery of it because it's gross. You know? But guess what?
What?
That's the only actual multitasking.
Oh,
Because
that's interesting.
Your body is autonomically doing its thing while you're doing. So you are literally doing two functions at once. Your body is eliminating waste while you. So
That's a brilliant
So the
revelation.
good news is that multitasking is actually not a myth. The bad news is that it's defecatory. That
love
it's
it. I love
poop
it.
related. You know,
It's so funny. You
is
go,
defecatory
myth,
a word?
Science bomb.
Right. So that's the
That's
science
great, dude.
bomb. Is
I
that,
love it.
Yeah, you got to be.
It's true.
They're really the only
Look at
multitasking.
this. I'm
when
multitasking.
when you're
We're
making
talking,
a duke.
blinking eyes, and a chip on my shoulder. At the same time.
You seem a little distracted when
See
you were
that?
doing
You
that.
You taught me how to multitask
Yeah.
the proper way.
Right. I suppose one could walk and talk. There's certain things like that,
But in terms of the most primal,
yeah.
you know,
And the one that we do probably most often.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Thanks for that science bomb.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That was good.
Yeah, I've got more.
So, how soon after you brought in your comic book were you called in to take? Did they go, okay, here's 5 issues for you to do, or they like just one at a time?
They first wanted some sketches, which I did that were not great. I'm actually kind of surprised that I got the job. And then they wanted some sequential samples. So I did like 2 pages of The Tick and Paul the Samurai, which was an early
Paul the Samurai.
Yeah, early
Oh, yeah.
Ben Edlund character.
That's right.
And then they started me out on one-pagers on the very backs, like a color on the back of reprints of Ben's stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I would do these things called Tales from the Comic Club. The Comic Club is where they go, and there's like the Sidekicks Lounge, because Arthur can't hang out with the cool guys, you know.
right.
So
Yeah.
he's stuck with a talking dog and stuff. So I did scenes from the Comic Club.
Oh, that is too cool.
Yeah, so...
Did you do like the
And then
Paul
back-
Samurai spin-offs? Did you do any of those?
No, I did 2 tick arcs. I was lucky enough to get the main dude, you know. So
Incredible.
yeah, it was nice. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I could do a better job now for
And
sure.
they just left you up to your own devices. And they said, just create this thing.
I was remarkably lucky that there was I wouldn't say very little oversight, but there wasn't a lot that they could have done. Like, I mean, you can't say draw differently or. I was edited. My words were edited, you know, a bit, but
So they really
that's
trusted
normal. Or they had no other choice, or their quality
Incredible.
control is maybe a bit off.
And you had no choice but to trust yourself. You know, I mean, talk about like cliff diving. You just went, all right.
It was a big leap, yeah. It was a scary, but this one is much scarier. The book, the novel, is much scarier because that was a proven property. I mean, it was literally bought as a property to be on Fox as a cartoon. That's amazing. That's huge. But you know, a book, like who gets famous from a funny novel? You know. So for me, it's more like proof of concept. I want to be able to show the world that I can write in long form, that I can be funny, that I can hold your attention, that I can keep a story moving, that I can seal it up, you know, neatly. I want people to read it and be able to say, "Oh, he really thought about that." You know, this wasn't dashed off. These are a lot of double meanings. There's a lot of things that I could read into this. You know, and it's crafted. It's not just spat out. And there will be art, so I want people to, you know, be able to see that I can draw still, and I want to entertain the eyeballs. And then the audiobook, I really want to work with actors like yourself, and I'm going to have to learn how to do some acting myself. And
the demo that you sent me sounded great.
The
other voices in there.
The woman's voice is really convincing, I thought.
Yeah.
And that's just me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was me talking like this. And then
my gosh.
And then the voice changer made it sound like a very convincing. I thought the woman was more convincing than the guy.
Well, on 11 Labs now, it lets you direct the voice. If, let's say you could type in, you probably noticed this or played around with it, you could do the prompts as to what kind of voice you want.
Right.
In there.
Yeah. No. Well, and
then
I did. That was me
voice
just beginning.
Camouflage it.
Right. The one that I sent, the demo that I sent you of Rick Manigan's voice was my very first attempt.
Oh.
So I'm prompting like baritone. I'm prompting,
great.
Chicago, New York, all different accents to see what sounds best. And the one that you heard is not quite him, but I'll get it.
And the thing too is that, as the great, wise men say, create the art that you want to see in the world. So just make something that's satisfying to you.
Yeah, actually,
doing the best you can. Even
right.
if you weave them together, live action and AI voices. Who cares what all these other people's opinions are? Let them do the art that they want to do, the way that they want to do it. And this is what's so great.
I just don't want to. I don't want to be a thief. I don't want to steal from anyone. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to feel hurt by the way I create my art. Now, if you're hurt by the art that I create, then that's okay. We'll have a conversation, because this is going to be kind of a controversial book. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not very PC, in a very PC environment, Mm-hmm. But I grew up with Archie Bunker, who is the straw man.
Yeah.
And I would
Sam
say
Kinison, George Carlin, all these people that are just...
But Archie Bunker was like a foul, awful man. But he was there to show us what foul and awful is. Mm-hmm. Peter Griffin is a foul, awful person. One might argue, Homer Simpson is an awful parent.
Yes.
But he's there to show us, to make a mockery of, bad parenting. So that's what Rick Manigan is.
It takes a special kind of humor, I think, to be able to, and being okay with allowing people to tune into that humor that you already have, rather than we've seen what happens. We try to water stuff down, and we try to get generic, and we try to make sure that everybody loves us, and then we become this just like flapping flag in the wind,
Yeah.
It just
the climate right now of like, do you watch much stand-up comedy? It's like shockingly unshocking right now. You know what I mean?
I've seen bits and pieces.
I like a little more edge myself.
Yeah.
But, I think that's going to make me pretty unpopular with some people. But I'm okay with that too.
The philosophers are out there, and they're hungry for this kind of content.
Well, look,
people who
like
the critical thinkers.
I think people who really understand the book are going to understand that Brick is a representation of America, of masculinity, of hyper-masculinity and aggression, and that he's to be mocked. I, the narrator, Eli, am mocking Brick Manigan, America, the big baby that we are. This big... justice before peace, scabbard, rattling oaf of a country. We're just big baby. We're just over 200 years old, you know what I mean? And we think we can run shit. It's pretty crazy, So Brick Manigan is like that. He's impulsive. He's rash. He's, penis-based, right? But not even like as a sexual thing, just as an aggressive point at you thing. That's what America is to me a lot. It's very loud, obnoxious, and not bad. I love this country for what it is, I'm a big buffoon, right? So I fit right in.
I admire any art. I admire any art where people are willing to create the world that they want to see, where they're not trying to attach it to any sort of real world thing. They're creating a completely different world for people to decide whether they want to be in it or not. Wes Anderson is a great example of this. David Lynch, these guys, even Mad Magazine, some people can't handle what's going on in there, and it's like, okay, this is obviously completely characterizing these things, and obviously if someone's getting triggered or they're feeling offense, then they have to go there and investigate within their own hearts why they feel offended. What is that rooted in? Why it's a great philosophical.
I couldn't agree more, and I think it's also a
journey.
great test of of your audience, who you're speaking to and with. I have a new neighbor. And he owns a wedding venue. So it's kind of a big deal that we're going to do a little construction on our home. So I've got to keep things nice with this guy, right? And so I was going to mow the lawn. I texted ahead of time, I'm going to mow on Sunday. Would you have a wedding or because I can I can put it off, he writes back, "Oh, who is better than you, Eli? You are so kind. I can't ask for a better neighbor." I just met this guy, so to test the waters, I wrote, "Great, go fuck yourself."
Oh my God.
So I'm waiting to see his reaction. So it's all these laughy
and
faces.
It was 3 months ago.
No, it's all these laughy faces, and we're like, it's like a love fest because he
knows what
he
you're...
knew that I was taking him into my confidence that I think you're cool enough.
Yeah,
I could say, go fuck yourself, and you'll get it. Right?
Yeah.
So
that's
kind of this book is like I'm saying, go fuck yourself. Do you get it? Because I don't mean it.
Right,
I'm not trying to hurt you.
Yeah. And certain people have certain frequencies to certain things,
Sure.
I always think about the analogy that there are noise festivals, noise bands, noise festivals where someone's out there just banging on a trash can, and there's a whole group, subculture of people who love that. They want to go there and just hear noise.
Is that right?
They want to hear someone up on stage who's just tuning the radio. And they're excited about that.
Do you like a bucket drummer? I love a bucket drummer.
I love
In Boston,
a bucket drummer.
We got really good bucket drummers,
Oh, yeah?
A single bucket. I love a single bucket.
I love it.
Maybe
It's
a pan.
crazy
Maybe
what
a pan.
they can do.
Yeah.
So imagine that to someone else who's like, oh, that's a bunch of noise. Another person's like, this is astounding. Look what sounds are coming out of me.
Metal is like that. If you listen to metal, if you don't listen to heavy metal, it sounds very much like noise.
Yeah.
But if you get into it, you can discern. There's good metal and bad, different kinds of metal. I think country is the same way for a lot of people, especially on the East Coast.
That's true.
Like my wife hates country as a genre, but to me, a good song's a good song. I don't care. I mean, like the song Jolene is like a great song. That's a country song.
And the things that we might despise today, things we might find ourselves really appreciating tomorrow. Or in 10 years.
I didn't get Led Zeppelin for like 25 years because everybody in high school liked them. So I was like, oh, this is getting obnoxious.
I know what you mean. Like, hold on, everyone's going that way. I'm very suspicious.
Right.
I'm gonna keep going over here. Right?
Yeah.
See
So
what's going on
the jocks like the one thing, maybe the popular shit. The stoners like Zeppelin, and then I'm like a punk rocker at that point because I get bored very easily. Honestly, what is the? Let me ask. What is the hardest edge song that Yachtley Crew performs?
Baker Street.
Oh, you guys do Baker Street?
Yeah.
I love the Foo Fighters cover of that. So have you heard it?
No, I don't think so.
They do the saxophone, the classic sax, which I know you have because I just met the man. Pleasure. They do it in guitar, and it actually it pulls off. Yeah, it's good.
I'd love to know what kind of sound effect they might put on there.
I don't know. A lot of reverb, I guess.
It's always interesting to hear everybody's different interpretation of these songs.
So you guys do Baker Street?
Yeah,
I'm stoked. What's your set list?
We have some.
This, by the way, is the first time for anybody listening. I've never seen Yachtley Crew live, and Kurt and I met just over a year ago at a TIC event.
September 10th, is that what it was? I just finally posted my podcast about it.
That sounds right.
Is that what it was?
So hosted by Isaiah Ferguson and myself. I would say more him than me because he's on the West Coast.
But you gathered everybody, huh?
No, I met some people. He gathered a lot of people. He got the big guns. He got Adam Ruins Everything. Adam
Conover?
Yeah, he got Adam Conover to host to do the Q&A.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Yeah,
I'd recognize him from places. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's let's say it's just Isaiah's gig.
How did Isaiah?
I did the cartoon.
Come across Isaiah? How did he become like
he's a TIC fan, just a big TIC fan. He's kind of an obsessive, and I don't think he would disagree. When he's into something, he's very into it. So he loves Thomas the Tank Engine. He loves the TIC, and he's got his own property called Chori. I'm gonna mess it up, but he's a very talented guy. Very talented guy.
I'll put a link to his Instagram.
But anyway, so that's how you and I met. So
and that short film that you did was awesome. And I remember telling you, I love the finger work that you did. I rewatched it the other day.
That link is in the comments.
I put that into my description. Did you see that? I did that on the last episode.
Oh, is that right?
And it will go in this one too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, anything we talk about, it'll go right in the description.
I've watched so much YouTube that I like and subscribe. Hey, smash that like button.
Oh yeah, smash that like button. Smash that like button.
Yeet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna yeet that like. Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet.
David Lynch personally started a campaign in Hollywood to get Laura Dern an Oscar nomination for her performance in Inland Empire. He sat on the side of the road with a cow during this campaign, which was, unfortunately, unsuccessful. Stay tuned to Inspirado Projecto for more fun facts.
Keep the like button.
What else do we have?
Oh
in here?
yeah, let's see.
What-
Let's see.
In the
Ask the Amazing Karnak. Let's
Okay,
see.
so we have
what
a-
else do we got?
Science
We
bomb
saw
was
Science
good.
Bomb.
Science bomb was good.
Ego tripping.
Ego tripping.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Man is not only egocentric, he is also time-centric.
Yes.
Ooh.
So it occurred to me last night. A lot of these things occur to me when I'm having gummies. It occurred to me last night that humankind is we're greedy, right? We think about what's right in front of us, and we are self-serving, and we kind of have to be by evolution to protect ourselves and whatever, and that extends to our psychology. And there's us and ours and our community versus them, etc., and our piece of land and all that. But it never occurred to me that these, and then it sort of echoes out and then sort of fades away from us, So like somebody in China, we don't own any of them, or maybe it's just their little hands as they make pieces of our iPhone or whatever. But our sort of wave of egotism so echoes out from us. But it never occurred to me that it echoes out in time as well. Like things that have happened in our past are so important to us, and yet like Ulysses S. Grant, fuck him, whatever. Yeah, and then things that happen in our future, the more immediate they are, like, we got to make a better world for our kids, but we're not really maybe thinking about their grandkids or their grandkids. How far into the future are we thinking? How far into the past are we reaching for our social mores and cues? Yeah, we're very like time egotistical, So like a couple decades past and a couple decades ahead, that's us. Versus the past people versus the future people, which is also us, right?
Yeah, it's interesting once the echo gets
back then they were
quieter.
crazy. No, that's also you, right?
Yeah.
In the future we will. No, that will also be
you.
That's
right. That's right.
Which is another.
That's right.
This is why I can't understand people who don't relate to kids, because if you don't relate to old people, well, you've never been an old people. I get that, but if you can't relate to kids, do you have no memory of being a kid? You were one.
Yes. Yeah, and you'd hope that you'd become the adult that you wish you had.
That you looked up to.
Those kinds of adults around it. Yeah. You hope that you go, now's my chance. It's like
That's
the people who complain about their job and they go, well, if I was CEO, I would do this. And then all of a sudden they become CEO, and then all of a sudden they turn it right back into the thing that they were governed by in the first place. It's like, dude, now's your time to run free. Create the rules how you want to, not based on some, don't let those ghosts dictate what's going on there. It's very interesting how that is. When you're in that position to go, I saw this funny meme the other day. It goes, the look I get on my face when I realized that I'm the adult in the room. And it was like this, like,
right? No,
it's like,
true.
oh shit, I'm the
adult idea
in the
that
room.
I'm anybody's father is weird, But you know what though? I looking back on the way I was raised, parenting and maturity are such. I don't want to say fungible, but they're very difficult to label as a set of responsibilities. And when you're a kid, your parents are your parents. You think they have it together, and then you become a parent. And you go, oh wait, that was wrong. Like that was, and then you get a little resentful, but then you also get a lot wiser. So I like to treat my kids in a different way from the way that I was treated, and I can see myself, parts of my dad coming out, and then I immediately take that opportunity to pivot. I've thanked my son for giving me the opportunity to do right where my dad did wrong. I said, thank you, Connor. My father would have thrown that out the window. He let me just give you a 1 week punishment. I appreciate that. And by the way, that was the only time I've ever punished that boy. He's so sweet.
That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, that's especially.
So the on that card was just what do you think of that observation that we are egocentric both in time and in space, and in the things that we own? And
I think this is why I try to listen to. I used to do a lot more frequently, but there's a 1920s radio network, so I try to go as early back into hearing the songs like that are still. That they still got. I mean, heck, on some nights they're playing these really like scratchy, but they're beautiful, really scratchy early Edison recordings.
Oh yeah.
Edison, no, take one.
Wow.
Buy me a doggy.
And it's like it's so beautifully scratchy, and you can just hear it. And so I try to go back there and I go, okay, I'm giving you a high five right now. I'm giving you a high five. I'm listening to. I'm taking in your ghosts. You're still cared for. And
I love that. I love it because I think a lot of performers, a lot of what makes them perform, and I don't know about you, but for me certainly, and if you want to call art a performance, a lot of it is wanting to be timeless, wanting to be immortal, right? I guess fear of death, but I'm not consciously fearing death, And the fact that potentially these people you're listening to were people like me, perhaps like you, who said, "Oh, I don't want to disappear forever," and you're going, "You didn't. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
100 years, and you're still cool."
Yeah, yes.
So I like that. It's almost like having an auditory statue.
Dude, that's a great way of putting it. Because there's so many songs on there that. Holy cow, thank God someone decided to archive those things and then to put them in a digital or however the heck they're playing them through there. Songs I had never heard of in my entire life. And I go, okay, why didn't someone remake that song yet? Why didn't someone? Because I frequently play with this idea of doing like a 10-song album of remakes of old songs by bands that never existed. But they were redoing like old 1920 songs and stuff that like. Who would ever know what that song is? Who would ever know what that is? But they kind of like give this little myth.
Have you ever listened to what is it? Jukebox Orchestra? You know what I'm talking about? Then I guess we shouldn't go on that.
No, let's do it. Because there are probably people who listen to that.
I just can't remember the name right now.
Is it on Live 365, like one of those streaming channels? Or?
I just see it on Facebook, but it's a guy who. Does arrangements of classics and standards, like forgive me, of popular songs like Metallica songs, but he rearranges them into like 20s tunes.
No way!
Like
it's
Zoot
incredible
type music or big band, or it's very good. And then he gets various singers to sing, so it's not always the same band. He's always the same arranger.
Cool.
But there's like a 14-year-old girl that does Metallica, and she just blows the doors off the place. Yeah, it's really, really good.
So they got like the tubas in there.
Oh yeah, full band. Just like that. Yes, no, that's pretty accurate.
It's great.
That's pretty accurate. So can I count you in for voice talent?
Of course, dude. Of course.
Dude. Even if I am able to do all the parts with.
Oh my God.
With a voice changer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's see.
Oh my God, I would love to do any voices in there.
Well, there's Brick Manigan, and then there's his boss, Captain Man Hours.
Cool.
Right, and then there's.
I love that.
Yeah, there's Lexi, his informant. She's a prostitute, but she's not really. See, a lot of things in Brick Manigan's world are trying to be evil and failing. That's a through line, and Brick is always trying to do the wrong thing. Accidentally, he does the right thing. Right?
I love it. I love it.
And he does have a soft spot for Lexi. So she looks about 14. So she appeals to perverts. And yet she has this hideously deformed arm, so she can't actually get laid and make money, right? So I've got all this like pedophilia going on, right? But she's actually 22. But her stock and trade is that she looks, and yet is very young, and yet she can't actually even do the deed because the arm is so hideous. And at the same time, Brick is actually looking out for her. So what he does is he shows up in her lower class neighborhood where rich people go to buy drugs, and he just beats up the rich people, takes their money, and then throws it down her AC unit, and the money every Wednesday lands in her bedroom. So that way he's protecting her.
I imagine it just blowing out of the air ducts, right?
Yeah, so he's protecting her from selling her body, which she can't do anyway because she has this hideous arm, which I guess you might say is a commentary on what it is to be beautiful or not, or sexy or not. And then there's another guy at the same time who reports to the police station. He self-reports as a sexual predator ahead of time. He wanted to report himself in advance.
Oh, in advance, yes, like a thought crime.
Yes. And so the guy says, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. If I arrested you for thinking about younger women, I'd have to arrest all of Japan." Which is because it's a pervasive thing.
Oh, jeez.
In other words, just the way you put it, thought crime.
Yeah.
There is no such thing. I don't believe in policing people's thoughts. I think that you should be allowed to think whatever the hell you want to. It's what we do with those thoughts that's important. And again, Brick is thinking awful things, but what's he doing? He's saving this girl from getting in difficult situations. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, what I noticed in there, which was really neat, was that someone might say something that I mean, it's interesting because you're kind of. Oh, thank you. Oh, Eli.
Yes.
This is Sailor Hawkins, the drum man.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Excuse me, I gotta go.
Thank
handle
you.
some business.
Thank you. This is our buyout. At some of these events, they give us a buyout. So they're like, okay, go find some food someplace.
Oh, like a per diem?
Yeah. But I like how, like, someone will say something in, like, Brick might say something, and then a few pages later, you'll actually see, like, he didn't realize that was a metaphor for something that he's actually going to be in.
And this happens
and I
a
love those
lot.
little subliminal things that are going on in there, and it really shows. It's got that Kubrick, multi-layered
This is what I want.
Shakespearean.
Thank
There's
you.
a lot of this stuff that's.
I appreciate Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
Kubrick or Shakespeare, I am not, but that's what I'm shooting for. Is like that, like the
It's literature without calling it
the
that.
level of I don't want to say complexity, I guess, of that. Have you ever heard the term Seinfeld? Mm-mm. Well, the Seinfeld writing style was such that they would have basically 3 concurrent stories, and they would each be intertwined and entertaining, and they would collapse onto one another at the very end. In the last 5 minutes, everyone would have something to do with the other one, and it would just fall like 3 sets of dominoes from 3 directions. It's amazing. And if I could reach that level of, how did he do that? Like, oh, wait a minute, that was a clue, that kind of thing.
Yes,
So-
those little Easter eggs. If you just give a little wink at it at first, and then later on, someone trips over that thing, that's like, man, that's the kind of thing that makes people go back and reread books, go back and rewatch movies, because now they're going, ooh, now I didn't see that little thing going on. Oh, every time that guy's on the screen, there's a little shadow figure in the background.
I'm
like, well, what's going on here?
That's my hope, anyway, is that someone will want to read it twice.
Yeah.
Because I'm just that smart.
Well, I think it shows a sense of getting a kick and being okay with getting a kick out of one's own imagination and or creations. Heck, if we can't be okay, and this is the opposite side of egotism. If people were to look at it from this way, they'd be like, oh, that's egotistical, oh, that's narcissistic. No, look, what I'm saying is, you have to fall in love with the idea. If let's say if I'm on the level of hoping that someone likes what I'm creating, I have to at least like it first. So even if no one else sees it, at least I got a kick out of the idea.
I have to say that you and this band is a huge inspiration to me. And not to sound like a shit, but it's because you're almost my age. And the idea that it's possible to live this giant dream at this stage in your life. A lot of people who are musicians by 23 are like, well, that was my shot. It's like basketball. Like, if I haven't made it by 25, I'm probably going to be a music teacher.
That's right.
Or, salesperson or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But to be 50-something and come from Australia, to have the opportunity to complain about a tour bus is incredible, right?
I know.
And so the idea that I'm 54 and writing a book that I know is unpopular on the face of it, and doing it, like you say, believing in yourself, it's the hardest fucking thing to write in a vacuum. Oh, by the way, I don't read. That's another thing. I don't read books, so I have no template. So I'm just writing what I think is really fun and funny. But to justify it to your family as you're not making money and doing it is so hard. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's a writing day, honey. Like, how pompous is that? But if you don't believe in it, you're never going to eventually take that big swing.
And creative types understand that. And imagination, people who love playing with imagination and just let themselves daydream, they totally understand those idling modes. And, going for walks in nature really helps out a lot.
When I walk my dog, I get a lot of work done.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's good for you. Yeah.
So you're getting these. That could be a good multitask.
What's that?
Right, the health of walking.
That is true. Yes, walking the dog and writing. That is another great. That is a I was going to say a non-fecal multitask, but he craps all over the place. So I guess
that's right.
You're taking the dog to crap. So,
that's true. That's true.
It all comes back to poop. I think
it does.
Really can tie anything.
It's also like a symbol of like precipitation. Just the way that
the cycle of life.
The cycle of life
through poop.
Yeah,
it's all poop related. Yeah. So then, at the so Brick lives in a major city, and it's named after Arlen Major, who was like a turncoat during the Civil War. He was on whatever side was winning.
I immediately thought of Lee Majors,
right? Which is fine, This is like,
but the fact you're weaving in these little tiny well, Lemony Snicket would do a lot of this.
There's a lot of history in it. There's the history of a major city, So
that's cool.
So it reads like the joke being a major city, right? It's like any city, like Springfield. America.
Puns and wordplay are where it's at.
Yeah,
we can sneak those in there.
And then the precinct is the 3.5, the 3.5 precinct, because it was the architects asked him, the city planners asked Arlen Major, the drunken mayor at the time, who strong-armed his way into being mayor. This is back in the 1850s or whatever. What do we call the precinct between 3 and 4? And he goes, just split the difference. So they marked it 3.5.
Yeah, just split the difference.
And then it's stuck.
Hi, this is Jay Ossing from Twin Peaks: The Return. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Wowzers! Check out that information spilling forth from the fountain of knowledge known as Eli Five Stone. Talented wordsmith, extraordinary artist. You got to check out his website. I'll put a link in there. By the way, today is August 24th, 2025. I am still editing this podcast. My aim was to do this while I was on the tour bus. There's a lot of sleep deprivation between driving through the time zones, the rickety bus driving at night. It's a whole art. It's a whole science. And meanwhile, I'm snoring up a storm, and it's going right there through Bunk Alley. So my apologies to my bunk mates. Thank you so much, Baba Booey and Yachtley Crew, for the extraordinary promo at the beginning of the show. Thank you so much, Henry D. Horse, for the wonderful fun fact talking about David Lynch. And, of course, Jay Ossing, who played that toxic drunkard in season 3. That's all I'll say about that. You'll know his part when you see it. From Twin Peaks, season 3. I've been very fortunate to come across such people. And this includes Eli Five Stone. We are going to dive back into this. Brick Manigan, my goodness. I hope you're getting a kick out of Brick Manigan. I am getting a kick out of this story. If you like The Tick, if you like wordplay, if you like Monty Python, if you like Steve Martin, Weird Al Yankovic, any Mad Magazine humor. I mean, anyone who likes just word jazz, Ken Nordine, word jazz. Anyone who likes word jazz, you're gonna love Brick Manigan. It is so fun. It's a comedy through and through. And I'll tell you right now, I don't think I've ever used that phrase before. This is a very special moment in time that you are witnessing. I'm out here on the balcony here in the Southern California area. And it's beautiful out here. We're going to dig back in now. We're going to talk to Eli Five Stone about working on The Tick. There are so many passages we could have gone down, but there's only so much time. So you try to squeeze it all in there. This is part of the reason why I try to talk fast. Try to get all the information there as possible. So here we go. Without further ado, and definitely without further ado, here is Eli Five Stone. By the way, if you want to contribute to Inspirado Projecto podcast, call the hotline. I promise you, I will not pick up. It's a voicemail. Tell me your dreams. Tell me your weird sightings. Tell me your hopes. Tell me your past lives. Tell me about any sort of UFO and or cryptid sightings, ghost sightings, anything. Ouija board experimentations. 561-203-9179er. 561-203-9179er. Tell it to me on the voicemail. I will include it in this, and I promise you, by the end of this podcast episode, I will play for you a real-life voicemail that I got. So ideally, it inspires you. All right, back to the show. Dude. Okay, so
like we literally brought Jam to like one of the home design people this week. See, that's another thing. Like I had to get up early, clean the house, home design. Sorry, this has been crazy.
Dude, these are the greatest gifts.
What's
The
that?
seagulls. I can't tell you the last time I heard an abundance of seagulls.
Oh, wow.
Lately, I've heard it a lot.
We're lousy
It's
with them.
incredible, dude.
Yeah. Oh, look, so flat. Now that is quite the play on words. Yeah, you can smell the ocean. It's nice, right?
So what?
Can you smell it?
It's awesome. Oh, yeah, dude.
Salty air.
Hob. House of Beauty.
Wow. Yeah, it goes from tourists to like nothing real quick, huh?
So, if Brick Mannequin was to be split up into a series of, issues or a graphic novel, what do you think it would be? How many issues do you think?
Oh.
If
Boy,
someone said,
that's
"I want
tough.
to pick up the ball, I want to do this, man."
How many issues? I don't know, because I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it in sequential art format. I mean, I could.
Ooh, you know what? That'd be great. Is if you release the issues in a different way than they should be. So you release 12, then maybe you'll go to 3.
Well,
so it's like you keep a ping pong. With
Since I've met this wonderful guy, Chris Green. He's Amazon publishing master. He just knows all about how to format, how to sell. He's really generous with his time too. So I would like to have ancillary things. So Brick Mannigan gets this partner, and his name is Revolution Kelly, and Rev Kelly keeps a journal. I just mention it in the book.
Yeah.
But what's to stop me from writing Rev Kelly's journal as a thing that you could give away?
Ooh, yes. Yeah. That's what I've always loved, is when the things that have appeared in the comic are actually out there in the reality.
Yeah, well, I pitched Ben Edlin an idea where the Tick is like a 5-issue miniseries, and the Tick goes on this sort of walkabout to find himself, and comes across a comic book while he's doing it.
Like a vision quest?
Yes, but then we also print the comic book that he finds.
Ooh.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's a comic within a comic, and you can buy it.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
There'll be a special giveaway, or
Dude.
Or
And then
issue 2.5 of 5.
And I imagine, wouldn't it be funny if the people in that comic are playing a video game and then you make the real video game?
Right. I love shit like that. I love cyclical.
And then you make plushies of that video game.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
dude.
The original conceit of Brick Mannigan was that I wanted, and I still would if I could, and I think I've mentioned this to you, is I wanted to have a famous person play Brick Mannigan.
Yes.
So I wanted like Patrick Warburton's face or Bruce Campbell's face and the rights to use it. And I just wanted to call it Bruce Campbell stars in Brick Mannigan Public Dick, a novel by Eli Stone, and have people ask, what does that mean?
Dude.
What, did you and Bruce Campbell work on a screenplay? No. So did he ask you to realize this video? No. Oh, so you guys worked it? No. He stars as Brick Mannigan in the book, period. Stop thinking about it. And then I would draw him. Like,
stop thinking about it. It's like you plant these little Easter eggs. Now you're telling them to just, hey, just, you didn't see that.
Well, have you ever seen that before?
It's like pressing that little like Men in Black button, you know?
Have you ever seen a real human being star in a literary?
No, I haven't. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Grazie, thank you.
Isn't Keanu Reeves the star of Cyberpunk?
Oh yeah, it's true.
So, but I just want to do that in book form.
Dude, that's a cool thing, because everyone would start tagging him.
Well,
hey,
and then I have
this?
the name cachet, you know. But of course, if I'm using their likeness, I would have to. They would have to be okay with this character doing awful things.
Oh yeah, man.
So are you
that was
nervous
such
at
a
all?
delicious lemonade. No, you know what? I'm just. I probably might have to. I like to stretch sometimes before the show, because sometimes I wake up, I'm like, oh wait, dude. I like to pretend I'm like a percussion instrument. It's a lot of fun.
Your body is a percussion?
Yeah, I try to like.
You do
like try to be like this, like a. Like those windsock. I'm just trying to be a windsock.
Do you mean windsock or do you mean wacky, wavy, inflatable front arm man?
Oh, yeah.
Windsocks we have in plenty on the Cape. That's it looks like a fish.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah.
That's a
He's got those those arms that are like...
No. Windsock is just, it's a tube.
Oh, what are those guys called?
Windsock. The other thing is a wacky, waving, inflatable arm man.
Those dudes,
Yeah.
yes. See?
My son has one.
They agree.
A little tiny one.
Oh, my God, that's great.
It's pretty awesome.
I'm wondering if you had a Bluetooth speaker added to it, if the vibrations...
Hi, it's Mickey Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Mickey Dolenz, thank you so much for that extraordinary promo. Why it cut off Eli 5 Stone, I do not know, and I'm sorry that happened. I swear, I imported this audio and it cut it off right there, and I could not understand. However, I'm very grateful for what I have caught. There is so much more to these stories. There's so much more to dive into. I love, as you well know, I love good storytellers. Anybody who's excited to tell their stories is a good storyteller, in my opinion. Someone who's passionate about talking about something that is so personal to them, and they're just willing to feel in their element and geek out about it. I love it. I love encouraging that spirit. So, thank you, Mickey Dolenz. Thank you so much, Eli 5 Stone. What you're about to hear next, this was recorded July 18th, 2025 at Dr. Pepper Park in Roanoke, Virginia. Now, if you ever go there, there is a star that is lit up at night. At some point in the nighttime, the star is up there. It's really cool. And so I asked this guy what he knew about it. So he's going to explain that to us. Then after this, like I said, you're going to be able to, if you stick around long enough, you'll be able to hear a very special person leave a very special message on the voicemail. Now, anything we talk about here, if there are links, those will be in the description, so you can be led to those things. And by the way, make sure to check out yachtleycrew.com for our tour dates. You will have such a fun time during our time travel dream cruise traveling circus experience. All right, here we go. Oh,
show patriotic symbolism.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, I think it's more white, and it was every time a soldier died, it used to be, back in the day, they would turn it completely red.
Oh, wow.
When a soldier passed overseas or something, it would stay red for every soldier who passed. They would get a day, so...
All right.
I'm just letting you know, I don't know where everyone else is at, but the bus is in the shop.
Okay, it's currently in the shop.
Yeah, it's currently in the shop. They're working on
cool.
it. So, and there's 24-hour shop.
Oh, good.
It's a real shop, so.
Oh, cool.
So they should.
We have one of those.
Yeah, so they should get everything. They have all the parts there. Everything's there. So.
Oh, good. It's in the shop, he says.
Nice. Yeah, so they got all the parts. They got everything there. So everything should get taken care of. I told them to get the bus there. Let's get it cold in there, and so.
I love it.
Great. Now you got to get sleep. Yeah, I'm going to go to the hotel.
Dude, thank you for everything. Thank you for dealing with it. So you're saying it's been up, the star has been up in the Roanoke for how long?
It's been there close to 100 years.
Whoa!
It's had to be reworked several times. It used to be old incandescent bulbs. Now then they redid it with the CFLs. Then I think they're trying to do LEDs now, and I think it's mostly now white. I don't know any more history on it other than that, and I'm sorry to say that. I've lived here all my life.
Well, but do you know who put it up there? Was it the military? Some military
No,
program?
it wasn't. It wasn't a military. I think they called it the Star City back in the old days of Roanoke. Roanoke is where they got the name from an Indian tribe you hear called the Big Lick. The original fire station, the horses used to lick the bricks because there was a lot of salt in the dirts around here. So they called it the Big Lick, the Star City. Henceforth, the Star came around. That's about all the history I know of it. And, like I said, I'm a little ignorant on it, but I know a little bit.
I'd love to see, that might be an interesting movie idea now that I think about it. Seeing how that got up there. Was it just a couple of dudes in their garage maybe going, hey, wouldn't it be great if we put a star up there,
About it is, that was put up before, if I'm not mistaken, before the roadway, the parkway was put in, because you can get to it two ways. The old way going up the zigzag, up the mountain, or the parkway. The old road is such a zigzag. It's hairpin turns. So I would imagine they drug all that up there with horse and donkey.
Oh my gosh. So that's actually a good idea. Okay, way back then, to put that up there and go, you're in the right place. Just go towards the star. Maybe it was one of those things. Just go walk towards the star. Wow. And especially because they didn't have the buildings, all these buildings way back then.
Right.
You were able to see it out there. Wow. Things are coming together.
Fun fact, Roanoke used to have cable cars.
Ooh. When did they take them out?
Early 1900s. Yes.
That's too bad, because it seems like cable cars would be so efficient.
If you get a chance to do it, visit the Transportation Museum down Salem Avenue. You can walk around through there and see the old nostalgia and see all of that.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. What's your name again?
Franklin. Yes,
I'm
sir.
Stoney. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
I'll be up over here. You'll know all the words, man. You'll know all the words.
I'm sure.
Thank you for sticking around to the end of this episode. And like I promised, we are going to hear an actual voicemail message from the hotline 561-203-9179. Or I would absolutely love it if you were to leave your message on there. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be able to share it with all these people, and chances are, imagine this, there might be someone out there who resonates with that UFO sighting you saw, or the Mothman conversation you had, etc. and so forth. Everyone's looking for an opportunity to share their element and geek out with someone who loves the same stuff they do. So, check out this voicemail, and I'm going to put, by the way, it's from someone from the Verels Bridge Society. If you remember the TV show Dispatches from Elsewhere, the Verels Bridge Society and Christor Inc. are a part of the whole Jejune Institute mythos. Look up the Institute.com trailer. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, here we go.
This is Atlas the Dragon. I am calling once more in behalf of Nonchalance and Verels Bridge Society. I am here in Crossville, Tennessee, and I have found something absolutely magnificent. Find your way. It's not hard. All you have to do is look inside. Remember, you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
If you love your customers, you have to try RingCentral. No matter the size of your business, every call, every text, every meeting, every customer conversation matters. With RingCentral, you get a reliable business phone, a modern contact center, and built-in AI across every conversation. So you can focus on the moments that matter. See for yourself at ringcentral.com.
RingCentral. Intelligent communications you can trust.